Hey, welcome back to Press Play Action. Mitchell Lee, Tommy Grant, Brandon 2 here with you, and we've got another Movies at Random episode. We've got one more of the Alien and Predator movies. That's on hold. We've got some fun IMDb stuff coming, some fun superhero stuff coming. That's on hold because Movies at Random, we do about one of these a month, and we are going down a little bit of a rabbit hole with the Movies at Random, so it won't be totally random for a little bit because we've got The Karate Kid, the 1984 original with Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita, and we are going to, for each Movies at Random, for the rest of this franchise, we'll do Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3, the Jaden Smith Karate Kid, and Karate Kid Legends, which came out last year. So the next 5 movies at Randoms. Although from what I've heard about Cobra Kai, I would recommend checking it out. I've heard good things.
I have too.
But yeah, so the next 5 movies at random won't be totally random. They'll only be random for half of it. However, it is pretty random that we're going to be reviewing the 2013 Joseph Gordon-Levitt rom-com Don Jon along with The Karate Kid, because those two movies have absolutely nothing in common.
You say that, but that's not
New
true.
Jersey.
That's
New Jersey.
New Jersey kids.
Yes.
And
there is a common thread.
Boys.
And the best hype men in all movies.
I was going to say, my new mission on this podcast now is for the random episodes is to find some sort of connection between the two movies. And this was that connection.
We'll get to it, but find yourself a hype man the way Johnny finds a hype man in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to, as we will for each of these while it applies, we are going to start with the Karate Kid movie. So we're going to start things off with...
yes, nice PG-rated film.
Karate Kid, directed by, I don't know if I'm saying this right, John G. Avildsen, who he did Rocky. So if anyone knows about directing iconic sports movies, this guy knows his stuff. He also did Karate Kid Part 2 and 3, as well as Rocky 5. So he did the most acclaimed movie in the Rocky franchise, as well as the most hated movie in the Rocky franchise. But this one starring Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, Elizabeth Shue. We've got Martin Kove, Randy Heller, William Zabka. And this came out on June 22nd, 1984. Budget of $8 million, and it made $130 million. So very successful movie. This was the 5th highest grossing movie of the year, 1984. Can you guys tell me what grossed more than this in 1984? We already reviewed one of them. Is this Star Wars? No. Star Wars is not a part of it.
All right.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah, that's
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is one of them.
Oh, the Terminator.
No. Remember, Terminator actually didn't make that much money. That was the number 21 highest grossing movie in 1984.
No, it's Ghostbusters. It's got to be Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Ghostbusters was one of them. That was number 2. Temple of Doom was 3. What's 1 and what's 4?
It can't be Police Academy. That wouldn't have been that good.
Police Academy is number 6. So, nope.
Close. No cigar.
Splash?
I was going to joke.
Splash was 10.
I was going to joke Children of the Corn because that movie was so fucking awful.
No, that is
I got
way
all
down.
of my guesses. I can't imagine being that.
Children of the Corn was 64.
Dude.
It's not Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Okay.
I know it's not that.
Dude, 84 had some banger movies.
It did.
84 is
It did. This isn't
movie.
This isn't our first go round with 84. We did Temple of Doom, we did the Terminator, and we'll be coming back to 84. We did Nightmare on Elm Street was 84.
Yeah. 1984 was made in 1984. That's
we've spent some time in this year.
Yep.
You guys are
Footloose.
No. Nope. Oh. Nope, that was 7. But you guys are struggling. Number 4 was Gremlins.
Oh, that I thought that was more like a cult
which came out the same day as Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I thought it was more like a cult classic
feature.
Than like a
number 1 highest grossing movie domestically, 1984. You guys keep forgetting how white hot Eddie Murphy was. Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yeah.
You keep forgetting. That movie made $234 million in 1984.
But he made so much money previously and in like his other movies before that it was
but this was the biggest one. This was the one where it was like, oh, so he's... Because I think this was right after Coming to America.
You smack him
48
smack
hours.
him on the poster. Yeah. Slap that guy on the poster. Yeah.
This movie right here, Pat Morita was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for playing Mr. Miyagi in this. But you've got the story of Daniel LaRusso, who is moving from New Jersey
from
to
Newark, New Jersey.
From Newark, New Jersey, the murder capital, capital
the bad
of the world.
part of town, New Jersey.
Yeah, it ain't great. I mean, it's not Camden, but it ain't great. And he's moving to Los Angeles, and as anyone moving from Newark to Los Angeles would probably be, they're not, immediately. They're not in the hills. They're living in this kind of not run down apartment, but they're just they're living in an apartment, and he's getting used to it.
We can say it. They're lower middle class.
I don't even know if I would say middle class. Not in California.
They might be low.
We say they.
The mom's got the car that they have to constantly like.
That's true.
It's just the mom though. I mean, you also got to think like single mom in the 80s, like going from big city to big city.
In Los
she was making
Angeles.
It seem like that pool was awesome, and I was like, this pool is not going to live up to that.
She was trying to sell her kid because I could tell that she was going through it too, and the last thing that she wanted was her kid to be feeling as bad as she was. But this kid, Daniel LaRusso, he meets this girl played by Elizabeth Shue, who you might know from movies like Adventures in Babysitting, but also nowadays you might know her from The Boys. She was on that show for quite some time.
Who was she on The Boys?
And she was the kind of the handler of the Seven for like the first season.
She was Madeline Stillwell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, she was really good on that show.
Okay. I didn't put those two together.
She is very good on that show.
Yeah, I like her a lot, and I think she's really good here too. But this girl has an ex-boyfriend that is very possessive in Johnny Lawrence, and they get into a fight. Johnny beats the shit out of him. Mr. Miyagi's like, look,
can we
I got your back, kid. I'm going to teach you karate. You've got this tournament that you got to go to, and we're going to build you up so that when it comes to this tournament, you can win. And sorry, Brandon, what were you about to say?
Let's address the elephant in the room. The fighting in this movie on the beach looks fake as can be. In the tournament, it like looks okay, like it's fine. Like on the beach, it looked awful. I don't know what. Like you could tell he was trying not to like hit him in the face, and it was like, just hit him in the face. Like
it's kid actors with.
I know. I'm just saying you can clearly see he doesn't even come close to his face, and then they're like, oh my god, he has a black eye. Like what happened? It's like. I'm sorry. I have to point that out. It was a bad fighting sequence.
I did look this up when I saw that it was directed by the same guy who made Rocky. So I'm like, clearly they had to have some martial arts experience with this cast.
You would think something would be going on there. Yeah.
Well, this guy, probably martial artist Pat Johnson, was the fight choreographer for both movies.
Okay, well,
and this guy,
it doesn't really work in Rocky either. It doesn't really work in Rocky
Pat
either.
Johnson studied under Chuck Norris, so we have a legendary like training.
6 degrees of Chuck Norris. Yeah.
Master and Apprentice, man. I mean, that was pretty cool.
I'm just saying, Chuck Norris, like the reason he got so famous was because his fighting scenes actually look like legit when he does it.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't because of the acting chops.
Yeah.
Well, so like Chuck Norris trained this guy, who then trained the Karate Kid and Rocky.
But I'll let the other not hot take I have, but I've heard some interesting takes online about the Karate.
I gotta hear your hot take. You can't hold that back.
It's not a hot take. It's more of like if you watch the movie through the lens of Danny is actually the bully.
I've heard that before, but I heard it before I saw the movie, and then I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Because he does have like an anger streak to him, so he'll like. I mean, obviously, Johnny's not a good person, clearly, but I think it's hilarious that like Danny does do stuff that like you're like, well, what did you expect? You were gonna get your like ass kicked there, like.
Yeah, and he gets his ass kicked. I mean, I think that there's fair give and take to that.
I think
because there's that moment when they're both fighting. They're both kind of like holding back, but also striking each other. And Danny's like, "All right, we're even. Like, let's stop."
And then he just is like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Like, fuck you, no.
Yeah. And I will say the scene that erodes this like thought that people have is that they do like the 1-on-5 like Johnny's friend is like, okay, like we're trying to kill him now, like let's like calm down, and Johnny's like, no, he deserves this, and it's like they're like holding him up against the fence and like still hitting him, and so I'm like, okay, that's where it's like Johnny is definitely the bully in this situation, but I do think Danny is like he's a flawed character, like he's not a great like person to root for. Sometimes you're like Danny, you're kind of a jerk. Like, no offense.
I mean, he's in what, high school at this age? I don't know how old
he's probably like 14, 13.
He's like your height of puberty. Yeah. You have a single parent. You just moved across the country.
Maybe 15. I would say 15. Yeah.
Like you're gonna be in a pissy mood regardless, and then you have kids
fair
dicks to you for no reason.
Yeah, I mean that kid is just randomly kind of a dick to him just because he's talking to Allie, but
you've got that scene at the beginning where he's like breaking her radio, and it's like, all right,
it's like, well,
kind of establishes who the piece of shit is.
Yeah. No, I think Johnny is a POS, but Danny does some things in this movie that I'm like, Danny. I'm like, come on, bud. Like, what do we do?
I think that the strength of this movie, and I'll just go ahead and lay it out. I do really like this movie. I do not think that it is some classic or anything along those lines.
That's fair.
And I'll have an even hotter take later in other Karate Kid reviews. Because I'll just lay it out, because if you go back and listen to the 2010 ranked video, if you listen to the 2010 ranked video, I already put it out there. I actually really liked the Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan Karate Kid.
Oh.
And I think that, yes, I think that this one is better, but I do think that movie, I think they're about the same as far as quality to me personally. I think there's things that movie does really well that this movie doesn't, and vice versa. I think the thing that this movie has most over the other movie is Ralph Macchio as the lead. Ralph Macchio is a very strong lead in this movie. I really like him as Daniel LaRusso, and I think that he has really great chemistry with Elizabeth Shue. And I think that is kind of where the movie, for me personally, I think everyone tends to lean towards Mr. Miyagi and Daniel. For me, it's Daniel and Allie is kind of where the strength of the movie is to me. I did like Mr. Miyagi a lot. However, at the same time, it felt like, I don't know, those scenes didn't hit as hard as I thought they were going to. Whereas I thought that Ralph Macchio had chemistry with Elizabeth Shue. I thought that he had chemistry with Randy Heller, who plays his mom in this movie. I thought that every scene that they had together worked really well, and I thought that the fight scenes, I thought that he did a convincing job in those scenes, and the training montage, that this movie's famous for. I think that's done really well. But at the end of the day, I do think that this is just kind of a movie that I really like. Where I think it falters for me a little bit is I'll just put it out there, I don't like Johnny Lawrence as a villain.
I don't think like Will Zapka?
I don't think that is he is intimidating in the slightest.
He is the victim of a children's cult. I'm gonna say it right now.
Yes. No, I did like, what was his name? Whoever the guy is, I think whoever the hell the guy that that played the coach.
Oh, that you're talking guy. About Martin Cove?
So it was Martin Cove playing
Martin Cove.
Sensei
yeah.
John Kreese.
He was good. I kind of wanted to see a little bit more of him because he did a really good
Don't
job
we get him
playing
in,
this.
We
like
get him in 2 and 3, right? I'm pretty sure we like.
I know nothing about 2 and 3, so I couldn't tell you.
I have to watch him again. I don't know,
but yeah, let's be honest. Cobra Kai was a stereotypical 80s cult hidden in a kids movie. Like they're like, and it was an example.
We do not back down to fear.
And Johnny was an example of a cult pushing somebody too far to the point where he was going to kill another kid.
Give me 50 push-ups on your knuckles.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yeah, yeah.
And like there was the other kid that was with Johnny all the time that was like constantly like, yeah, he was the friend that got dragged into the cult that never actually wanted to be there. It was like,
well,
this is not the right thing to do, and was just constantly.
Martin Cove is in 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't want to just jump ahead to like the tournament, but there are some like interesting decisions for the tournament where it's like he's like, oh, like take him out, like break his knee, and then he hits him, and he's like, I didn't mean to, Johnny. I'm in a cult. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, you clearly meant to like break his kneecap. I'm like, it's okay. Like, you can admit it, but also let's get it out of the way. Johnny has some people around him who I wish I had hype men the way Johnny has hype men in this movie. This man is getting hyped up left and right by multiple people in this movie. The one guy who just sits there and goes, put him in his body bag, Johnny! Might be the greatest line of all time.
It's all part of the cult.
The crazy thing is, that screamed in the middle of like a kid's karate tournament. Like, everyone was just like, okay with it. They're like, yeah, that's fine.
It was the 80s.
Honestly, you know what, that line might as well have hit like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Just get as far away from the mic and just scream as loud as you possibly can.
Yo, take the final scene and put the Mortal Kombat song over it.
Can we talk? Let's get it out of the way. The crane kick,
Epic.
dumbest thing in movie history.
No, it's pretty cool, Brandon.
I mean, it's cool.
It's stupid, but it's cool.
It would never work. There's no way he can do that move.
What do you mean it would never work?
Mr.
Miyagi came out.
He was practicing
that move on a bad
He put the work in, Brandon.
He's never doing a move on that bad knee. I'm sorry.
He put the work in, Brandon.
Also, what is Johnny doing lunging forward? He has him on the ropes, and then he puts his face right into his foot.
From the words of
cocky,
Mr. Miyagi,
Brandon.
There is no defense to this move.
And then he does the force healing on his knee to get him back.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie to
you.
Well, we now know where Star Wars' inspiration came from. Was Mr. Miyagi.
Warm it up. Warm it up. I don't know about the knee up, baby.
It was more like force on, force off than wax on, wax off. But
man.
Knowing the director had made this movie in Rocky, who would you rather have in your corner? Mickey or Mr. Miyagi?
Mickey wouldn't throw in the towel. Mickey's a terrible person.
Mickey would have been drunk.
Yeah. I have not a hot take about Mickey. I like Mickey. I like Mickey a lot as a character. But Mickey basically,
whereas Mr. Miyagi was like that, very stoic, just gave the little nod.
Not throwing in the towel is crazy. Like, I understand Rocky's all about giving up and not giving up and stuff like that, but like,
Rocky's all about giving up.
Yeah, it should be.
Quit while you're behind.
Rocky is about Sylvester Stallone's character getting like the shit kicked out of him for like 90% of the movie. Anyway, the tournament is cool. Like, I do like the karate scenes. I'm not gonna act like they don't like work. But the ending where they're like, oh yeah, he like warmed his knee up with like the force touch, and then he's just able to pull off the crane kick out of like nowhere, and Johnny's face just happens to find his foot.
Was clearly, it was definitely meant to be more mental.
It's also anticlimactic as heck. Like, you have all this build up and like all these cool like karate fight scenes, and then it ends with like one crane kick, and then like after he basically like destroyed his like ACL. I can't get behind it.
Well, you know what? Ed, your batch will probably going to put this to the test. We're going to try out the crane kick and see if
we're
gonna crane kick Brandon at his bachelor party.
We're going gonna kick someone's kneecap in and then have him try to do the crane.
We will get super drunk off of bourbon, and then we'll practice crane kicks and see who can block.
I'm surprised you don't like Will Zabka. Now I will say I think he gets a lot better.
I didn't say I didn't like Will Zabka.
No, Mitchell. I'm surprised he doesn't like him. I understand. I guess I understand why he doesn't, but I do think he gets better throughout this franchise. And I have heard that he's really, really good in Cobra Kai, but that could just be him like maturing as an actor and like actually being like, oh, my character has like depth to it and it isn't just like a bully for a bully's sake. Like Tommy was saying, he's forced into a karate child cult or whatever.
Karate cult, man.
It's the karate cult. I do find that fascinating that you don't like Will Zabka, because I do like Will Zabka's character because I think it's like a little bit outlandish that he's like the villain. And I think it works in the sense that like there's really no reason why he's like the way he is other than he's in a cult and obviously there's something going on in his life that like makes him the bully that he is. But he's a very like straightforward bully. He just tries to beat the crap out of people. And I don't know. I kind of find that refreshing in 1980s movies. Maybe we should have more of that is what I'm getting at. Maybe we should have more straightforward bully villains in our movies. Maybe everything doesn't have to have depth to it until you get to like movie 2 and 3.
Oh well, we'll see if those movies have depth to them. I'm
that's
not
a fair
quite
point.
sure if that's what we should be expecting. I think
think
they just
Johnny's
wanted
character.
money.
Johnny's character is actually completely thrown by this cult into a life of depression. And it's like,
so I gave this thing a B plus 48.61.
Okay, that's not bad.
I think it's a fair grade.
I'm going A minus 15.7.
Okay.
I like this movie a lot. I would recommend this movie to a lot of people.
I think you'd be higher on it.
I think the dynamic between Allie and Danny is awesome. I think Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita, getting his flowers and getting his like supporting actor nomination is awesome. I have heard quotes from like the directors and like people involved in the film being like, yeah, we expected this movie to like bomb. We like didn't even think it was gonna be good. And then they saw the final product and like all of it put together and they were like, oh wow, like we actually made like a pretty kick-ass movie on a low budget. So yeah.
I gave this an A minus 27%.
Okay, so you get to be the high man on this one.
Which was kind of odd because going into this, I thought it was going to be the lowest because I never really cared for these growing up, and I hadn't seen this movie in a long, long time.
It kind of holds up.
I actually
I've never seen this movie.
I had a couple beers and I turned this on and it was
it's a good movie to just
it's
like
an
chill
enjoyable.
And relax.
It's a reliable like you know that if you recommend it to someone or you put it on, they're not going to be like really fucking the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be an enjoyable.
I wouldn't put it up as like a
also
movie. I would put it on as a just you want to have a fun hour and a half. Throw this on.
Yeah.
Since we are going to review the rest of them, I do hope they kind of expand on Karate Kid's Legends, even though that movie wasn't good. It was clearly like part of the Netflix show. Got truncated down to like this weird
I just
movie.
hated the editing.
The editing in that movie might be the worst editing I've seen in like 5 years. That movie,
it's really
is edited
bad
to like shreds, and I think it's because it was like part of the Netflix show, and then they edited it down. I hope they expand on it because I actually like the main character in that movie.
Yeah, that's me. I like him in a lot of other stuff. Like he was in The Long Walk, and we'll review that movie when we get to it. But I think like my Letterboxd review was something like, whoever edited this movie needs to be publicly beaten or something like that. Like the
opposite of Christopher Nolan's like editor streak at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, wow, this is incredible. It's like, wow, this is really bad.
Random movie trivia question.
Oh,
Pat Morita, who played Mr. Miyagi, he was a voice actor in a 90s Disney movie. What movie and what character?
Ooh. I don't want to be like that person, but it has to be like something.
You're on the money.
I don't want to be that guy, but
yeah. I was like trying to think of it.
I don't want to be that guy.
It's not being that guy. It's a 90s Disney movie. There's only so many.
Disney.
Okay, but there's one that stands out.
Yes.
Go ahead and say
you're on the money.
Okay, it's Mulan, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Who is he in Mulan?
He's the emperor, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Bonus points for Mitchell.
Sick.
Yeah, all right.
There's your random trivia question for the afternoon.
I do.
Yeah, I mean,
Mulan is damn good. Love
I
that
mean,
movie.
yeah, that's very close to home for him being Mulan. I mean, that makes sense. Also, they don't know where Okinawa is or Tokyo or whatever.
I mean, this is
Who
pre-Google.
doesn't?
I don't know what people knew.
He's like, "Oh, I'm from Okinawa," and Danny's like, "Where is that?" I'm like, "You're in high school. Like, you don't have a fucking map. Like, you don't know
I
what
mean-
Japan is." Yeah, sorry, I'm just.
I know adults that don't even know where that is. So like,
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Have you seen
I
the
guess
general
I'm
voting
being-
public?
No, I guess I'm being too harsh.
Yeah.
most people would nowadays would probably think that's a country.
Bonsai tree. That's my bonsai tree.
All right, let's move on to the second movie here. We got Don Jon.
John.
John.
Written, directed, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who
He directed
we have
this.
This
Yes,
is his
and-
directorial debut.
Of course,
wrote
he
and
did.
directed it. And this, I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt at the time, white hot, coming off of Looper, The Dark Knight Rises, and Lincoln the
I
year
guess he
prior.
could do whatever he
He had
wanted. to do.
50-50 in 2011, Inception, 500 Days of Summer. He was the belle of the ball, and he cashed in to write, direct, and star in a movie where he gets to have sex with Scarlett Johansson. I guess that's just what you get to do when you're famous. He said, "Yeah,
I mean, why
you know
not?
what? You know who I want to write, direct, and star in a movie where I get to be in bed with her. Cool, I
No,
suppose.
not,
and
not
then
only
just
that,
masturbate
not
to
only
porn
that,
all
but
day."
casting Brie Larson to literally sit in a chair and not speak. The
Yes,
entire
I mean,
movie
yes.
to the
We'll
very end.
get to that. This was.
No, that's not true.
I'll have something to
She
say
has
about
probably the best wisdom
I
in the
said to the
entire
very
movie.
end. To the very
She
end.
has
Yes.
she is the best wisdom in the movie.
that because this came out around the same time that an
And Tony
independent film,
Danza.
an independent
Danza.
film by the name of Short Term 12 came out that really took off over time, but it was a movie where people really recognized Brie Larson for being an incredible talent, and that came out, I think, over the summer. And then a few months later, she's in this movie where she's just like texting for the majority of
and
the film.
staring into space.
And
at
giving
people.
very
Exactly.
judgmental looks.
This stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Scarlett Johansson, Julianne Moore, Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
You're not with Barbara anymore. Is what those looks are like. Oh my God.
Whenever Brandon gets a chance to talk about Angels in the Outfield, he's
Tony
gonna do it.
Danza.
So you got Tony Danza and Joseph Gordon-Levitt both in Angels in the Outfield.
Dude, I
So-
think they.
Oh,
I
he
think
was
they
in-
came.
I did not
Yeah,
know that.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the kid. He's
Yeah,
I
Roger.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Roger.
this is a reunion of sorts.
Okay.
This movie came out on September 27th, 2013, budget of $5 million, and it made $41.3 million. So this was a successful movie. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. However, this got a C+ on Cinema Score, so it didn't really seem to land too much with audiences. And I'll get to why I think that might be here in a
think of
minute.
multiple reasons why.
Yeah, that is actually really doesn't surprise me at all. It came in 5th the weekend that it was released. Most notably, Rush had its big expansion that weekend and came in 3rd, which is a movie that we will be watching down the line. And I'm really excited for you guys to watch it because I actually think it's one of the best movies of the decade. But we'll talk about Rush when we get to Rush. I was really excited for this. I remember when this movie was coming out, I was really pumped for the movies coming out that fall. I mean, you had Prisoners that came out the week before, Rush, Don Jon, Gravity,
Oh my
Captain
gosh.
Phillips.
Prisoners
It
is
was a
such a
pretty
good
solid
movie.
year. I'm not gonna lie.
2013 for the first like 6-7 months of the. I'm not trying to make a joke. Just for the first bit of that year, it was not good. But the second half of 2013 and Oscar season really hit. And you have stuff like this that kind of slid under the radar, but definitely found the people that it was supposed to find. It had red hot stars like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Scarlett Johansson in this as well. And anything Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I was there for day one because, again, I loved him from the Nolan stuff I'd seen him in. I loved
I've
Looper,
loved him since
Angels
Roger.
in the Outfield.
Since Roger.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I mean, he was great in 90s stuff. Also, like 10 Things I Hate About You. He's great in that movie. So he had time to really build up a fan base. And this movie's about a guy by the name of John, and he is he's addicted to porn. He is the I'm gonna go out to the club and bang a different girl every single night.
Hot streak.
And he's got his maybe autistic levels of like, look, this is what I do. This is the porn I watch. I keep my house clean. I lift my weights. I go to church. I have dinner with my family. And every night I bring a different chick home. And this is just what I do. This is the life that I live. And he sees this girl played by Scarlett Johansson and goes, Jesus Christ, that is the hottest woman I have ever seen in my life. And
he wouldn't say that he's Catholic. No, I'm just
kidding. I think he would.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
But he's like, I've got to switch things up to an extent for her. But then she finds out.
Oh my God, she plays the long game. The long game.
And she also, Scarlett Johansson wants Joseph Gordon-Levitt to go back to school. He does. And while he's at school, he meets another fellow student taking night classes, played by Julianne Moore. And they have their thing that evolves throughout the movie. And I think that this movie was really sold as a Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Scarlett Johansson rom-com with some raunchier elements thrown in.
Yeah.
And I think what really threw people, and we're going to talk spoilers about this movie.
The twist.
The movie was about porn addiction.
Yes. No. That's what I'm saying, but you can only advertise that so much on light TV.
The plot, quote unquote, twist is kind of like shocking in the sense of like, oh my God, I can't believe he wrote that.
The twist is that they break up like halfway through the movie. Yeah. And that is something that I think audiences were not expecting at all. I know I wasn't expecting it at all. So I expected Scarlett Johansson to have a much bigger role in the movie than she did.
They hit you over the head with that. And then they go to Julianne Moore's character, Esther, and like why she's like upset all the time and like crying. And then they explain that reasoning and you're like, holy shit, like this movie's like completely different now. Like this movie is like not the same movie that I was watching like the first hour of this movie basically.
I will be honest, I went into this movie cold. I had never seen it before.
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
I knew nothing of what it was about. I knew the character that he played. Like I'd seen like a few clips of him.
Yeah, I know like the gist of the movie. Yeah.
But I had zero idea what the premise of the movie was. So like after about like a half an hour, I had to pause it, look up what the movie was about. Because I'm like, this can't be what it's actually about.
Did it spoil like?
Yeah, I just read basically addicted to porn. I'm like, oh, this is actually what
okay. So this is what it's about. Okay. And then you got hit over the head at like the hour 5-minute mark, and it was like
and then I thought it was gonna be about him changing for the better and like realizing his addiction.
It kind of is.
Well, yes, but I was expecting it to be one of those where he gets back together with Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
And I liked the direction they went with it. I thought it was very unique in terms of storytelling. And
but
I would say the Swiffer scene is what sold me like, oh yeah, that's the
Swiffer scene made me want to like puke. She might be the worst person ever. Like Earmuff's kids, she's a bitch. Like
I think one of the main frustrations with this movie to me is I think Scarlett Johansson is really good in it.
Oh, she's so good in it.
I think again, but you guys know I grew up in New Jersey to an extent, and she nailed the accent. I thought she did a great job of it.
It was the perfect North Jersey Italian.
I thought she played that role of the girl that expected a certain thing so incredibly well.
She's awful. Like Mitchell, your wife is lovely.
She's been conditioned.
She's a great person.
She's been conditioned to expect things.
You as my friend, if your wife was like that, I would tell you to your face. I'd be like, she's trying to control your life, dude. Like get out.
My wife was Scarlett Johansson. You would say nothing.
Well, yeah. But that's what happened. No one said anything to him because she was a dime piece. She was a 10, and everyone was like, "Oh, look at her! Like she looks amazing."
But
like
on
the outside, she's a great person, and it's like she's not.
No. Because even before that, people were like, "Buddy, you're a little too clingy with this one."
Oh,
like,
that's a fair point.
He's giving toasts about like, "I've been with my baby for 1 month now," and I'm like, that never goes well.
That was cringy.
That never goes well. Yeah,
like,
I've been in rooms like that before, and it's just like you guys have no idea where this is headed, and everyone else in the room does though.
Yeah.
Like the fact
that's
that
fair. That's fair.
The fact that both friend groups are both awkwardly looking around, like, is this why we're actually here? Like, what?
But like the long game is he just wanted to have sex with her. Like I don't dude. This movie to me, and I think that I can't remember what movie it was that we were talking about recently, and maybe we weren't. I don't know. It felt stagey to me, where we're only in like 3 or 4 locations. Like we've got the apartment, we've got the club, we've got the school.
I was going to say, how low budget is this movie?
The church and the house where they have dinner.
It's 5 or 6 shots. Is like all
it
it is.
Yeah. And it definitely felt to me
the same shot over and over and over again. He just puts on different clothes.
It felt very repetitive to me personally. And this movie is only it's an hour and a half, and with credits is closer to like an hour 23. So it's a very concise movie, but even then it felt a little long to me at points because it is repetitive and you kind of get the message of it pretty quickly, and I like what it's trying to say better than how it actually said it. Because it does have something interesting to say about how men romanticize relationships via porn, women romanticize relationships via these, romance movies, like the one with Channing Tatum and Anne Hathaway that they kind of cut back to on the first date.
I thought him attacking her watching like rom-coms and movies to like his porn addiction was like one of the funniest like turnarounds I've ever seen.
They give awards for movies.
Well, they give awards for porn too.
Yeah, they had such a good back and forth, and so it's like as much as I liked Julianne Moore in this movie, and Julianne Moore is kind of when he's turning around and he's becoming a better person. Selfishly, I just thought that for entertainment value, I thought Scarlett Johansson was absolutely killing it.
Well, yeah.
And every single minute and not even from like she looked good too. From an acting entertainment perspective, she was 100%. Bringing it. And I thought she was fantastic in every scene that she wasn't in. I was wishing that she was. I liked what this movie had to say about that, and also about how it needs to be a two-way thing. It can't just be you using another person for the things that you want. Scarlett Johansson was using Joseph Gordon-Levitt for certain things, and vice versa. And I think that that's something that, again, I liked the message of the movie better than the way that it was delivering the message. And it felt a little bit stagey to me. I don't know whether that's because of the writing on Joseph Gordon-Levitt's part or the directing on Joseph Gordon-Levitt's part, but either way, I think it was the writing. I think the directing was decent, but the writing could have. I don't know. Maybe you could talk about.
Well, I guess I was gonna ask you. Do you have how much this movie cost? The budget
$5 million. $5 million. Yeah. This was a very cheap movie.
To be fair, the staging aspect of it probably plays into like his behavior as a person, where like it's all about routine and repetitiveness, and like if I do all this stuff, like it's fine.
By the way, this was originally rated NC-17, and he decided to remove some of the more graphic scenes to qualify for an R rating because he felt the original rating would cause people to think the movie was about pornography. I mean, it kind of is.
I mean, it is about.
I mean, it's not about that.
But it's an interesting like flip on its head when it gets to like the certain point
in class. I mean,
the funny one is when Esther like calls him out. She's like, "Were you not just watching porn on your phone?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, this movie does have some like decent cringe out of your body type scenes,
right?
And I mean that complimentary.
No, it does. I guess Well, obviously, Mitchell, this movie is about if you just go to confessional and confess your sins every week, you can keep doing whatever you want to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed.
Clearly, that's what that movie's about.
Every time they pan the camera to that angle, I'm like, I'm just ready for more.
I did find it kind of funny.
I masturbated 22 times to porn this week.
He always did find it funny
when he's like, now how did you arrive at that number?
No, I'm not even that. The scene where he gets the least amount, he's like, yes. I'm like, really? That's the highlight of your week?
My Lord, help me.
Yeah. This is one of those movies that I went into it with big expectations, especially with the stars attached, and I'm like, all right, well, here's a rom-com for guys, so to speak. And it came out about a month or so after The Spectacular Now, which I think is, while it covers very different material, I do think that is quote unquote a rom-com for guys done better than something like this. And I think it tackles, a little bit more heavy stuff, while also having Brie Larson be not used particularly much, but much more than this.
Into his soul and is like, you broke up with Barbara months ago. Like, I already know this. And then she delivers the best piece of advice in the entire movie. She goes, she just wanted to control your life and have someone who was going to say yes to her with every aspect of their life. And then he just turns to her, he's like, thank you. And she's like, you're welcome. And that's like the shock, like delivery of, like, she's been singing the whole time and she's like, Mom and Dad, shut up. Like, that woman is awful. And I'm like, finally someone said it. Like, it only took like an hour into this movie for someone to finally say that Barbara is like not a good person. But I mean, it is what it is. It's just, I just thought it was hilarious that Brie Larson delivered the line.
I gave
also
this a
Tony
B-.
Danza. Oh, can I touch on this real quick?
Go ahead.
Tony Danza's range is pretty remarkable because him as
Did
Mel
he have
Clark,
range in this movie?
Well, no, he doesn't have range in this movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was very stereotypical.
But his range as an actor, I watched the movie and I was like, that's Mel Clark. I was like, completely different characters. Yeah. Anyway.
Also, the most relatable scenes in this movie were the car scenes. I felt that.
Yeah, we can talk
That's
about
me.
that.
That is me on a daily basis on my drive to work.
You're gonna get out and say that to my face?
I've said it before.
By the way, he's not dead, but like this was, as far as I can tell, the final theatrically released movie that Tony Danza made. So,
well, spoiler: in Angels in the Outfield, his character gets cancer from smoking too much. So. It only took me 51 watches of Angel in the Outfield to realize they were talking about him dying. I was like, oh no.
But unfortunately, the woman that played the mother did die in 2017. So, at the age of 62.
His friends suck, right? Jeremy Luke is really funny. Yeah, really funny person. Anyway.
I give this a B- 93.65. It's an enjoyable watch, but it's also not something that I'd ever really feel the need to go back and watch again, which I wouldn't have expected given just how excited I was for this in the fall of 2013.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll go B 5.2.
I went C plus 95. I was just shy of B.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we're all in the same range.
I mean, Scarlett Johansson is like, it's not because she's on the screen. It's literally she's like the electromagnetic force of this movie. Like,
she brings a lot of energy.
She's on screen, you're like, oh, like, and you hate her character, you like her character, and then you're like, oh, I feel disgusting about her character. Yeah, it's just
it was a very intriguing movie. And I think Scarlett Johansson, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Julianne Moore were the only three characters I actually cared about, which is kind of what you're supposed to care about. But in terms of rewatchability, I think is what really killed it for me because
I mean, what would you rewatch? Like the 5 scenes with Scarlett Johansson in it? Like,
basically.
Yeah, that and the confession scenes are probably
the confession scenes. I've masturbated 28 times to porn this week and had sex out of wedlock 5 times.
Movie I would ever willingly. Let's throw this on. I want to watch this again.
Is there a rotating list of fathers, or is there just one? It's like, that's so awesome.
I really wanted there to be a scene where like you just see after like Don Jon leaves, the priest just walks out and is like, Jesus Christ.
This dude,
or something like
this
that.
dude watches
Yeah, stop touching your dick so much, man. All right. Well, that wraps things up for this press play action movies at random. Next up, we've got the finale, Alien versus Predator and Aliens versus Predator. I guess there's just one Predator, but
what
multiple
is wrong
aliens.
With the alien
I don't know.
Movies naming themselves like the
Aliens versus
the
Predator Requiem, which I think has like a -15 on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. I have heard nothing but horrendous things about this movie, so I can't wait. Then we get one of Brandon's IMDb choices. We've got WALL-E and Robin Hood, Disney animated, back to back.
God, I'm so good.
And then after that, we've got the superhero movies, starting with the original Christopher Reeve Superman, and then one of the greatest heroes of all time, of course, had to be quarterback of the New York Jets himself, Flash Gordon, as Sam Jones in the 1980 quote-unquote classic, pairing with Superman. So excited to get the superhero movies up and going. And then, hey, after that, we're back to the Karate Kid Part 2 and a movie that is going to be determined next week. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.